Good evening, I'm Mrs. Boland and we are still working on our review for the exam. We are currently on problem number 22 and it says solve the radical equation. Make sure to check your answers for any extraneous solutions. So the problem looks like this. It's the square root of 20 minus x equals 10. Okay. So that's what the problem looks like right there. In order to start to solve this, we want to square both sides, because if I have the square root of 4, okay, do we all agree that that's the exact same thing as 4 raised to the 1/2 power? It is, right? Okay, so if I take and I have the square root of 4 and I raise it to the 1/2 and now I square that, that would look like this. I could say I have the square root of 4 and I'm going to square it, and that is going to equal 4 raised to the 1/2 squared, which is equal to 4 raised to the 2/2, which is equal to 4 to the 1st power, which is just 4. Okay? So make sure we remember that. So if I take anything, even something that looks like this, the square root of 20 minus x, and I square it, what I have left is just 20 minus x. Okay? So we're going to take and we're going to square both sides. We have 20 minus x. We're going to square it. What I do to one side, I must do to the other side. Okay? So that means on the left-hand side, I have 20 minus x is equal to 100. Now, all I have to do is solve for x. So I can add x to both sides. I can subtract 100 from both sides. And I will end up then with, on the left-hand side, 20 minus 100 is negative 80. And that is equal to x, because that's all I have. This one right here went to 0. Okay, so therefore x is equal to, x is equal to negative 80. So let's go ahead and plug it in to make sure that we did not end up with an answer that breaks our rules, okay? Because remember, we cannot take the square root of a negative number. So our check is going to be, does the square root of 20 minus negative 80, does that equal 10? That's the question that we have to find out. So we end up with 20 minus a minus becomes a plus. So 20 plus 80 is the square root of 100. Does that equal 10? It sure does. So we know that we have the correct answer. And x is equal to negative 80 is our answer.